Most people move through life reacting. They wake up and respond. They wait for clarity. They hope things work out. Ancient warriors never lived this way. They understood something brutal and simple. If you enter chaos without a plan, chaos will plan for you. Long before swords clashed, before ships sailed, before armies met, the outcome was already shaped. Hope feels comforting, but hope collapses under pressure. Warriors did not confuse optimism with preparation. They knew fear, exhaustion, and confusion were guaranteed. So they never relied on how they felt in the moment. They planned for worst-case scenarios first. A warrior asked, "What happens when this goes wrong? What do I do when strength fades? What remains when confidence disappears?" Because when fear arrives, the plan is what moves your body forward. Spartans believed hesitation killed more men than enemies, not because they feared thinking, but because thinking under pressure costs time. So they removed unnecessary decisions long before battle. Their training was identical. Their equipment was standardized. Their formations were rehearsed until instinctive. This did not make them inflexible. It made them aligned. A Spartan hoplite rarely needed to improvise because the plan already defined the goal. Hold the line, protect the shield wall, endure longer than the enemy. Within that clarity, adaptation was possible. If a shield broke, the man beside him adjusted. If the ground shifted, the formation tightened. If pressure increased, the line absorbed it. Improvisation happened inside the plan, not instead of it. At Thermopylae, Spartans chose the narrow pass deliberately. They didn't eliminate thinking, they eliminated uncertainty. By removing flanks and compressing the battlefield, they forced the enemy into predictability while keeping their own objective unchanged. The plan was not clever, it was clear, and clarity creates confidence. By the time the battle began, there was nothing left to debate, only the work to be done. Samurai planning began with acceptance. They accepted death before the fight. This was not morbid, it was practical. Once death was acknowledged as possible, fear lost its grip. Samurai rehearsed failure mentally. They practiced scenarios where everything went wrong. They trained until action replaced thought. Because of this, hesitation disappeared. A samurai did not rush into combat emotionally. He moved because the plan had already been lived. Panic comes from surprise. Warriors eliminated surprise through preparation. They studied terrain. They anticipated resistance. They visualized exhaustion. When the moment arrived, nothing felt unfamiliar. Calm was not temperament. It was recognition. I have been here before, in training. That is why warriors looked composed when others panicked. Knights did not think in battles. They thought in campaigns. They planned months ahead, supply lines, alliances, weather. They knew one victory meant nothing if it left them vulnerable later. They conserved strength. They chose when not to fight. Success was not speed. It was positioning. Modern people chase quick wins. Warriors built structures that made winning unavoidable. Planning exposes reality. It forces you to see where you are weak, what you avoid, what you haven't earned. Most people prefer hope because hope hides flaws. Warriors wanted flaws revealed early. A weakness discovered in planning is safer than one discovered in battle. Planning was not pessimism, it was respect for reality. Vikings never sailed expecting calm seas. They reinforced ships for storms. They trained crews for exhaustion. They accepted that plans would be tested. Because of this, storms didn't feel like failure. They felt expected. When hardship is planned for, it loses the power to break morale. Warriors don't break when things go wrong. They break when things go unplanned. Warriors did not negotiate with mood. They followed structure. The plan decided when to train, when to rest, when to advance. Emotion became irrelevant. That is why warriors remained consistent, while others fluctuated. They didn't rely on willpower. They relied on order. You do not need complexity. You need clarity. One routine you follow even when tired. One rule you do not break. One direction you commit to long enough for identity to form. A warrior plan simplifies life. It removes debate, and where debate disappears, progress accelerates. Warriors didn't plan for excitement. They planned for survival. Boring plans survive bad days. Exciting plans collapse when energy fades. If your plan only works when you feel motivated, it is not a plan. It is entertainment. Warriors chose boring on purpose. Before battle, warriors defined their ground, where they would stand, what they would defend, what they would refuse to surrender. This removed retreat as an option. The plan became identity. I am the man who holds this line. Once ground is defined, action becomes inevitable. Do not ask, how do I succeed? Ask, what structure am I willing to obey when emotion fails? Write the plan, make it simple, then follow it without debate. Long after motivation fades, your plan remains. When emotion leaves, structure stays. Others will call it discipline. You will know the truth. You didn't rely on feeling ready. You didn't wait for clarity. You removed chance long before success arrived. Walk with honor. Stand your ground. Trust your preparation. Follow the path. Warrior's path.